everybody. So I wanted to come and talk to you about opportunists. So I want to talk to you about Doeg. Doeg is an Edomite. He's from the city of Edom, and a lot of people mistake him as a Hebrew. He is not a Hebrew. He is an Edomite, and his name is Doeg, D-O-E-G. And the story of Doeg can be found in 1 Samuel 21st chapter. Now, Doeg, some people have not heard about, but he was the chief herdsman to King Saul. So King Saul, now in the Hebrew, his actual name is Shaul. We always say Saul because it's in the English, but from the Hebrew, his name was Shaul. But King Saul, this was during the time when King Saul was actually on the hunt for David. Remember, at this point, David was going to be anointed the new king. Saul was upset and wanted to kill David because of his rising fame and popularity. He was jealous and envious of it. And so he was so jealous and envious to the point of wanting to take David's life. So he was actually setting out to kill David. I mean, he was losing sleep about it. He was following him all over, everywhere, wherever he thought he was, just so he could try to kill him. Doeg knew this. Okay, so Doeg knew that there was a problem between Saul and David, and to the point that it was a deadly problem. So David actually, during this time that he was running from Saul, he actually went to the city of Nob, N-O-B. He went to the city of Nob, and he went to the high priest Ahimelech. So when he got there, Ahimelech saw David, knew who he was, and he gave David some of the bread from the showbread. Now, showbread during that time, back during that time, was consecrated bread. It was unleavened bread. It was stacked into 2 rows of 6 loaves, which gave 12 loaves of bread. Those 12 loaves of bread represented the 12 tribes of Israel. It was a constant reminder that of the covenant between God and Israel, that God was not only their source, but he was their resource. So this was a sacred bread that they had that was called showbread. So he gave him some of the showbread, and he gave him the sword of Goliath. So Saul is trying to find out, does anybody have any whereabouts on David, any updates, anybody heard anything, anybody know anything or whatever. Nobody's saying anything, nobody knows nothing. Well, guess who's raising their hand front and center? Oh, I do. So Doeg tells Saul that he saw the high priest Ahimelech give David this showbread and the sword of Goliath. So not only did he tell him that, but he made up a lie. He made up a lie to pour fuel on the fire and told him that he saw the high priest Ahimelech go to God on David's behalf. He knew that this would infuriate Saul even more. Like I said, he was pouring fuel on the fire. He knew that he was going to be upset even more. He already wanted to kill him, but this was just going to take him over the top. So what does King Saul do? It worked. So King Saul tells them to bring him the high priest of Nob, not just Ahimelech, but he wants everybody. So he brings Ahimelech and his family in front of King Saul. He asks Ahimelech, did you in fact give David the showbread and Goliath's sword and go on his behalf? He ain't gonna believe nothing he said. He had already made up his mind on what he wanted to do because he was pissed at the fact that you helped David anyway. So he orders that Ahimelech is killed. So he tells his guards, King Saul tells his guards to kill the high priest. There are 85 high priests. The guards are like, we're not killing no high priest up in here. They like, no, we know you the king. We know you got some power or whatever, but those are the kings. Those are the priests of God. And I love that, because some people, we're at a place to where people will follow people, we will follow leaders, and we will follow pastors, even though we know that they're wrong and out of line, over following God because we have a loyalty to the person and to the man. Now, I'm not knocking pastors and leaders. I'm telling the truth of what it is. We have some great leaders. We have some great pastors out here. We have some people after God's own heart. That is true. But we also have some shisty, shady, sneaky, undercover vipers out here who are using God's name and are using people and manipulating people to follow them. And the thing is that we want to latch on to somebody. We want a king so bad that we are willing to follow somebody even when they're wrong. And we are following people over following the word of God, over following what God says, because we have a loyalty to friendship. So these high priests, these kings, not kings, guards. So these guards, they were like, no, we know you the king, and we know you just gave the order or whatever, but we're not finna be killing no high priests up in here. So who jumps in? Doeg. So Doeg jumps at this opportunity to not only kill Ahimelech, the high priest, he kills all 85 of the high priests, every last one of them. And then he took it further. He went to the city of Nob, and he slaughtered everybody. He slaughtered every man, every woman, every child. He didn't stop there. He killed every baby. He didn't stop there. He killed every cow, every sheep, every horse. He destroyed the entire city of Nob off of the one command of King Saul, because of this lie, and because Ahimelech the high priest helped David. He was not trying to be this great man in the sense that we would think someone was a great man. He was an evil man. He was wicked. He was looking for an opportunity. We believe that he came to King Saul as a slave. He ended up being the chief herdsman to King Saul, but he was an opportunist. He was looking for every ounce of opportunity for him to wreak havoc and cause a problem. You have people who will latch on to you not because they care about you, but because they are looking for an opportunity. You have people who know you. And this is the thing. King Saul knew God. He knew God. Remember, King Saul was chosen by God. He was the first king of Israel. He was chosen by God. He was anointed by God. He was appointed by God. God had been with him through so many things. So he knew God. He knew God's heart and how God worked. And then he turned to kill God's very own high priest because he had an agenda and because he was mad, because he didn't want to give up his throne and his title and his position. Even though it was taken out of disobedience, you lost it because you were disobedient, because you went against God and what he told you. But he knew God. And so here we go with people who will know you. They will know how you move. They know how you work. They know what kind of person you are. They know the sacrifices you made, and they will turn and come against you anyway. They know how you struggled. They know how you sacrificed. They know everything that you went through, and they will look for the opportunity to cause a problem. They know what kind of husband you are. They know what kind of wife you are. They know that you put your family first, but because they don't have it, they will look for an opportunity to come in between you and your family so they can try to have it. They know what kind of leader you are. They know that you have a heart for the people. They know that your congregation matters to you. But they will latch on to you to try to use your weaknesses so that they can take your church. And that's not everybody, but it's out there. So he was an opportunist. He didn't care anything about King Saul. He didn't care nothing about Saul and his emotions and his feelings, although they were super petty. He didn't care nothing about that. He was looking for the opportunity to give him the room to do exactly what he did. And there are people out here who are looking for the opportunity. You got people on your job who knows that you take care of your family. You're the only breadwinner. They know that you have children. They know you have grandchildren. They know that you provide, and they will look for the slightest thing so that they can run the management to tell management every little move you make because they want your position. Opportunists. People be doing the most. Too much. They don't care. They don't care nothing about you and what you're going through, what you've sacrificed, how hard you've worked. They don't care. They will look for every single crack and crevice to come in so that they have the opportunity to do exactly what they want that will benefit them. So I wanted to share with you about Doeg. He is in the Bible. He's in 1 Samuel 21. He was the Edomite. He was a chief herdsman to King Saul, who was actually Shaul in the Hebrew. Okay. Killed the high priest, killed the entire city of Nob for his own agenda. It was about opportunity. It was about power and control. And it was pure evil. Don't let that be you. Blessings.